Hi, this is Emily, the Audi Nerd. Tonight we're here with my most requested video ever, head-to-head RS6 versus RS7. Both the RS6 and RS7 have 591 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque, and go from 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. With the standard steel brakes, they have an electronically limited top speed of 155 miles an hour, but if you option them with the carbon ceramic brakes, the top speed is raised to 190 miles an hour. They both have the same fuel economy and they get that pesky gas guzzler tax, but I mean, when you're driving this, who really cares? Now you may be looking at the front of these and they look identical. And you'd be right. The cool thing about this really aggressive front end is they made it as wide as they possibly could that the assembly line could handle. Compared to the A6, this vehicle is 3 inches wider, and compared to the A7, this one is a total of 1.6 inches wider. And just in case you didn't catch it, they are both the exact same width and the front ends are the same. Now we know these cars look identical from the front, but they look very different from behind. As we all know, the RS6 is an Avant, or a wagon, and the RS7 is an extremely sleek and sporty Sportback. Now let's take a closer look at them from behind so you can see the specific characteristics to each body style. Starting with the base trim level, the RS6 and the RS7 have the same design of wheel offered. It is a 21-inch wheel and it looks like this. But now if you option with either the carbon optics or the black optics package on either car, they have a different wheel. This wheel in particular is a part of the carbon optic package, and if you were to option it with the black optic package, it's a slightly different design with gray here instead of black on this two-tone. This wheel is only available on the RS6 Avant. The other thing to note on this vehicle is it has the black brakes. There are 2 different color options. For steel brakes, you have red brakes or you have black brakes. If you would like to do the carbon ceramic brakes, you have the option between a blue or a red. The RS6 and the RS7 share the same brake setup with a huge front rotor, you'll see that right here, and a massive 10-piston caliper, which you can see, and it has the RS logo there. This is where you can see the red brake caliper design, and the RS7 also has the same color options as the RS6. These wheels here are part of the carbon optic package. These are completely different than the design that is on the RS6, and this one, if you option with the black optic package, similar to the RS6 design wheels, it has a gray and silver two-tone instead of the black and silver two-tone. Something really cool to know about the RS7, and if I had to pick one wheel design, I would pick these. Coming a little bit closer, you can see they are actually textured. You can see the texture and the dimpling all along here. The RS6 and the RS7 both come standard with the RS Tune adaptive air suspension. The really cool thing about that is it is ever-changing depending on your driving input, or if you're planning on driving these in the winter, which these are both very capable with. If you have higher snow, raise them all the way up and get better ground clearance in the snow. Another part of that adaptive air suspension is the 4-wheel steer. So you may be thinking these are huge sedans, and this one's a wagon, still in that family, and it might be hard to park. Well, Audi has a solution for that as well. With the all-wheel steer all the way around, it makes it super easy and nimble to get into the tightest spaces. Check this out. Arguably one of the most striking features in the front of the RS6 and the RS7 are these really cool HD matrix headlights. The cool thing on the RS6 and the RS7 is they do come standard with the laser light. The laser light is an extended high beam just in that center area, and I know I mentioned matrix. At this time in the United States, fully functioning matrix is not yet available. However, we have heard on these vehicles that it is there and will be an unlockable feature in the future. The differences continue in pricing as well. Looking at base price, the RS7 is $2,000 more expensive than the RS6. They both have the same available options and features. However, some of those options and features have a little bit of a higher price tag on the RS7. Now at the back, the body style differences really come to light. We've got Avant and we've got Sportback. Coming back to the best part of the RS6 Avant, the back end. And it has a ton of cargo space. It has 30 cubic feet with the seats up and 59.1 cubic feet with the seats down. There are some really cool Easter eggs along here where you can see this is your motorized privacy cover and it says Avant. The A6 All-Road House also has this motorized privacy cover and it also says Avant. But coming down a little bit, you'll see these rails and you're wondering, what on earth would these be for? Well, Let's take a look under this hatch and I'll show you. There are clips down here to use for maximum customizability, so you can clip them in along here and you can get other attachments for other things back here as well. So you have customizability when you're tying down cargo. There is no reason for an SUV when you have an Avant. Now coming along the side, you can see the super aggressive way they stylize the Avant coming all the way around. I love how the taillights actually highlight along the side, and then this black bar goes all the way along the back, highlighting with this rear diffuser how wide that is, coming right along the wheel arches. You do have your aggressive spoiler back here and the more aggressive black elements along. And coming up, something unique to the Avant is it is the only one with roof rails. And you'll see it also has a two-piece panoramic moonroof. This piece is fixed and this piece opens and vents just like the A6. Before moving over to the RS7, I want to highlight how you can see the aggressive rear diffuser with the honeycomb and the carbon pieces and the really wide oval exhaust tips is the same on the RS7. Same thing with that sculpted align, and as I mentioned in my RS7 video, I love how they actually integrated these reflectors down here, how that ties in with your taillights. Same on the RS6. Integrated and red taillights. Just like all of Audi's SUVs, the height on this is adjustable and programmable. So let's say this was more comfortable for you or your garage, you would press and hold on this button here. Now listen. And that little noise has let you know that that has been reset as your max height. If you wanted to bring it all the way back up or adjust it, use both hands on both sides, gently push it all the way up to the top and press again and wait. And that noise has been reset. Now, let's go to the RS7. The RS7 has a ton of cargo capacity considering it's not that super tall Avant. Now, as I mentioned, there are a lot of options available on both of these vehicles. This one in particular has the Dynamica headliner, which gives you the Dynamica on the privacy cover as well. This one does not have any funky logo or lettering on it, but if you come down lower, you can see it has tons of customizability and space. There are also these little hidden hooks if you come in back here that you can loop in for grocery bags, preventing it from rolling around. Now, lifting it up underneath, there isn't anything fancy. There are the standard clips on the side that you would find in any of Audi's SUVs and sedans. Coming up, you've got your amplifier, your subwoofer, and your flat tire kit, same as you would on the RS6. The car capacity is 18.9 cubic feet with the seats up and 49.1 with the seats down. This one is also programmable for height, so same setup, you would press and hold, and that's your new max reset height. Bring it back up with both hands gently. Press again. And back to max height. Come in a little bit closer and I want to highlight something that's on both of these vehicles. There on all of the Audis there are two buttons. There's this button here which just closes it, or you can press this button and it closes it and locks the entire vehicle. The other thing I love over the RS6 is these huge linear taillight that goes all the way along and across, connected by this light bar. And this light bar isn't the only long linear piece of LED. If you come up to the top up here, there's another light bar hidden right here. Now you may notice there's no spoiler up here like there was on the RS6. There's an electronically controlled one right here. It comes up at 62.1 miles an hour and above and can also be manually controlled in the MMI. And now we can't forget about the sunroof on the RS7 because it is huge. This one opens and it vents and it has a shade on the inside as well. Now coming back around, one of the cool features that we just cannot forget about, and I like to bring it up in all of my A7 videos, is something that's small, a little bit insignificant, but it's pretty dang cool. It is the capless fuel filler. Now the RS6 and the RS7 interiors are largely unchanged from each other, however there are slightly different sizing. So let's see how I fit in the back. You know the drill, the front has been adjusted for my husband who's a little bit over 6 feet tall, and I'm 5'5" 3/4. So coming in back here, oh yeah, tons of room just like the RS7, plenty of room in front of my knees, and because it's been sculpted out and has this completely separate sunroof right here with its own shade, you can see how that's a little bit different. It does have vents on the B-pillar like the RS7, but there is something that is unique just to the RS6 Avant, and that is the rear sunshades. Now let's check out the sport seats. Now in the interior of the RS6, this one in particular has the standard S Sport seat. So if you come a little bit over to this side, you can see the really sculpted out aggressive seats, and you'll notice the red stitching. This car has the RS design package, which gives you the additional red elements, including red seat belts on the edging and the full Dynamica wrapped steering wheel with the red stitching on the inside. You also notice down here, this one has the embroidered floor mats, which you'll see on the bottom. The other cool thing about these is for the first time, they're heated and ventilated with the leg extension. Now for the RS7, you know the drill. Front's been adjusted for my husband and I'm gonna fit in the back. As you can see back here, this one in particular has the comfort seat package. So you can see a slightly different design of the seats itself, but still tons of room back here. And now you can see at a better angle, this has been totally sculpted out to make sure there's tons of headroom back here, even though it's a Sportback. Vents along the B pillar here, you can see that. The other thing you can see from this angle is the adjustable on the headrest. The nice part is you can move it forward and back for ultimate head comfort. Before we move to the front seat, where the RS6 Avant did have those sunshades back here, this one has something else. It has the frameless windows. You can see all the way along here. And this one in particular has the dual pane acoustic glass. The option that is available on both the RS6 and the RS7 is the individual contour seats. These are those individual contour seats with tons of different ways of adjustment, including a power leg extension with ventilation, massage, and heated seats. The other thing on this one is this one has the standard air leather that goes all the way around the steering wheel. Both the RS6 and the RS7 have a heated steering wheel. Coming down, this one in particular, we optioned it with the all-weather floor mats. The MMI on the RS6 and the RS7 are identical. If you would like to see further information on the MMI, check out my RS7 video. And now it's time for the V8 twin turbo rev off. Thanks for watching this head-to-head video of the ultimate battle, RS6 versus RS7. I have made a video on an RS7 already, this one in particular right here. I will be doing a video later on the RS6 Performance, which we have incoming. If you have any other further questions about this vehicle or other vehicles in particular, please leave them down below in the comments or come check one out at Audi Omaha. Thanks for watching.